Goinant, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And while this ANC government is passing bills like the expropriation of land without compensation, there are far more serious issues they should be getting their heads around. And probably one of the most serious in the next 6 months, apart from a collapsing rand, which I think is a sure thing, is food security. There's a very interesting article in a magazine called Farmers Weekly, which I used to read often when I was in South Africa. It's a very, very old and respected magazine. And they cover the subject very, very adequately. They say about 41.2 million people in 13 southern African countries will suffer food insecurity between now and March 2020. Following a low rainfall in the 2018-2019 growing season. This was according to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change's synthesis report on the state of food and nutrition security and vulnerability in southern Africa. The report was recently approved by the South African Development Community, or SADC, in Windhoek, Namibia. The countries collectively harvested 37.5 million tons of grain in the 2018-2019 production season, which was 5.4 million tons fewer than the volume needed for consumption in a year. The report estimates that 41.2 million people in these SADC member states, which include Angola, Botswana, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Eswatini, Lesotho, Madagascar, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe would be food insecure this year. That's over 40 million people will be starving this year. Zambia saw output declining 14.7% to 2.2 million tons, down from 2.6 million tons in 2017-2018. In Botswana, production fell 92%. The largest decline in the region. In Namibia and Lesotho, production fell 53% and 50%, while in Angola, grain production declined 1%. Production in Tanzania dropped just 4%. The report said, when comparing the 11 member states that provide data last year and this year, food insecurity increased 28%. That's a huge jump. The highest number of people who would be food insecure until the next harvest in March 2020 were in South Africa, over 10 million people. They're talking about 13.7 million people, followed by the Democratic Republic of Congo with 13 million, Zimbabwe 5.5 million, and Zambia 2.3 million. Malawi, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, with a grain deficit, has been worsened by cyclones that hit these countries in March this year, were importing maize. The report said significant increases in the number of food insecure people from last year has been recorded in Zambia, 144%, Zimbabwe, 128%, Eswatini, 90%, Mozambique, 85%, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, 80%. This increase indicates a cumulative effect of persistent drought conditions compounded by floods, pests, conflict in the DRC and northern Mozambique, economic challenges, and chronic structural issues. These drivers are exacerbated by climate change. Now, as I said before, the subject of land, at the worst possible time, the government has created insecurity for the farmers in South Africa. Do you know what you do when people feel insecure? They really think twice about whether they're going to produce crops, because if they produce crops and their land's expropriated, what the heck are they doing that for? And this passing of the bill is going to have a huge impact on farmers right around South Africa, because I know there are farmers right now who are being told that their land is going to be taken off them. And these are fully productive farms. There's a fellow who does avocados and other vegetables, and he's got an incredible production line, and they're talking about taking that away from him in South Africa right now. This is the tragedy of the situation. This ANC government, it's so feral and so vitriolic against the white population that it doesn't realize that it's cutting off its nose to spite its face. Because if you impact on the shortage of food that we're already having in South Africa, it's going to be devastating. Not so much for the white population, although the poor whites will obviously be impacted, but the major losers are going to be the black Africans in Southern Africa. There's going to be a huge amount of starvation. As Johan Rupert said, this could be the trigger for an Arab Spring in Southern Africa. I mean, God knows what's going to happen when people are starving because they get desperate. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates, and have a great evening.